Hi everyone and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter and I'm joined with Connor.
Hey guys.
Not Connor Hawk, Connor Ryan.
No, I'm not that cool. I don't get to shoot arrows 300 times a second.
No. But we're going to talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1, Episode 7.
7.
I said it! I got it right!
You hesitated.
You're just saying that because I did that to you earlier when we recorded something else.
Yes, pretty much.
The episode's called Marooned. Full spoilers for the episode, as always, when we review a show here. Last week was disappointing. Last week was pretty bad, actually. I'm happy to
Last
say
week was the worst one, easily.
I enjoyed this episode a lot more than last week.
I did as well. I thought this was a really fun episode.
I agree. I mean, I have a couple of nitpicks, but nothing huge. It was I enjoy science fiction shows. I enjoy shows set entirely on spaceships. So
We know.
This one was mostly right up my alley. Had some fun. We had space pirates. We had
References galore.
references. Yeah, Star Wars and Star Trek both got numerous references in this one. So that was fun. That was good. So do we do negatives first? Do we do positives first? We'll do negatives. Let's get the bad stuff out of the way. One, I mean, obviously with this stuff, occasionally the science isn't going to be spot on, but there was a couple of things just with the way vacuums work and the way like holes in the hull work on a spaceship that didn't quite feel right to me. Particularly when Snart and Sarah go in and there's a hole in the hull and it's almost like nothing's in the room's affected.
Yeah. I don't know, that one wasn't as bad for me as when they opened it on the other ship and it's just like everyone goes flying past, but they're like it's fine, we'll breathe. It's not a big deal. Our heads aren't going to explode.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't happen right away though.
No, but pretty quickly.
It wouldn't be until the all the oxygen gets sucked out, I don't think, or whatever the atmosphere is inside the ship.
Yeah.
So theoretically, that's possible. But the problem is, though, is they use the whole everything gets sucked out the ship there as a plot point, yet in the other scene with Sarah and Captain Cold, it's like...
I guess they were saying it's not a big enough hole in the other one. It just kind of slowly sucked the air out, rather than here's a big gaping hole, they'll take it all immediately.
Well, Alien Resurrection taught me that even when it's a small hole, it'll just suck everything through it.
I mean, in terms of air, yeah, you goddamn right it will.
Admittedly, not that I'm saying Alien Resurrection is scientifically accurate either. I'm sure it's not. I'm just saying this particularly felt a bit off to me. Like, I'm not someone who's a stickler for this kind of science, as long as it's kind of in the ballpark. Like, when you watch Superman 4 and there's someone screaming in space where there's not supposed to be any sound, and oh yeah, she's supposed to be dead, that's when I have a problem. But that's just was...
See, I don't even mind that as long as they're consistent with themselves, and this kind of didn't feel consistent with the other instances of it in this episode.
Yes, I would agree with that.
That's a bigger problem for me. It's like if they're going to go with, sure, she should be dead and screaming, whatever, as long as just run with it. I don't really care. But if they're going to do that and then show me one where they do die instantly, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah, okay. So there was that. Another minor, I don't want to say plot hole, but Stark's gun runs out of charge because he's like shooting the hole continuously to put ice over it to cover the breach. And then almost after, as soon as they get out, is when Heatwave comes back with the pirates, and he instantly starts shooting people again. I'm like, when did he have time to charge his gun?
Maybe it automatically recharges over time, and it just needed to fill up while he was freezing in the cold. Maybe it gets recharged by the cold, and him sitting there freezing with
So
Sarah.
why wouldn't he shoot the hole again?
Because he's a moron.
Right, so that's bollocks.
I'm just chatting bollocks
here. Also, that made me wonder, how does it charge? Is it like a USB charger? Or is
it... Very, very carefully pouring the liquid nitrogen.
he's just got tanks of liquid nitrogen that he's like, every day he's like, alright, I need to refill my gun, hold on.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's that. We had flashbacks, which I don't actually have that many complaints about. My only real complaint about them is that particularly the early one felt a bit rushed because we see them in the simulation a la Star Trek 2, just to reference the stuff that they were referencing, and we see that she's technically the better time master than he is, because she solves the problem, blah 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 blah. Then we cut to a scene of them kissing, fine, and then almost immediately they get caught, and it's like an issue. And I just kind of felt like that was a little bit like boom, boom, boom.
It could have done with a little bit longer, yeah. Which is weird. We're saying we could have done with more flashback.
It is weird, but no. See, the difference between these flashbacks and the ones in Arrow: A, this was one episode out of 16, not every episode, and B, this set of flashbacks told a story. It had an arc, had a beginning, a middle, and end, and by the end, it told the story of how she dropped out of being a time master so that he could do it because she believed in him, and you know, it told a little story. That's what you know. Set of flashbacks is meant to do usually, and it ties in nicely to the themes of the present day stuff.
Yeah.
So that's my only complaint with that, is that I felt a bit rushed.
I will say that first scene in the test where she's better than him set up a bit of a theme for this episode for me as well, with Rip Hunter, that he's
shit.
Yeah, I was trying to find a bit of a nice,
he's a bit shit at what he
strong
does.
way of putting it, but yeah, I mean, it's just like there's the right at the start. It's like, oh, they're all. It's clearly a trap. Come on, Rip. This is a trap. We probably
and they all say it to him as well. Like,
yeah,
this is probably a trap.
And he's like, fuck it, it'd be cool. And then he just walks in, no problems, and then separates his Firestorm team. You know, sure, why not? Doesn't take out on the big heavy guns, nothing. You know, whatever.
What else did I want to whinge about? Not much, actually. That was pretty much it. The only last thing I would say, and I'm not going to complain about this as much as I thought I was going to, but the previously on showed us Ray asking Kendra out on a date, which is a weird thing to do being on a spaceship the whole time, because it's not really a date, it's just kind of...
Well, to be fair, they go to other time zones. They could go and have a coffee in the 60s. You never know.
True, I suppose. But, anyway. So they show that in the previously, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I thought that was a one and done. Are we really going back to that? But they didn't really shoehorn it in throughout most of the episode. Everything was just sort of natural in conversation, and there was no bullshit stuff. And at the end, and I'm not going to spoil what happened on Supergirl, but there was a very similar thing in Supergirl where there was a kiss out of goddamn nowhere where I was just kind of like, really?
Yeah.
Although this one was kind of worse though, because I was kind of thinking, wait, how long has it been since your lifelong, or I say eternity long, 100 life partner been dead?
It's weird because with that, she didn't care about him till after he died, and then it was like, oh, she's mourning, and now she's fine again. Yeah,
but now my boy Cisco's just like...
I know.
What's Cisco going to do
now? Cisco losing one to Ray. That's rough.
That is I know he's a Picard.
Do you know what? I don't even mind as long as this doesn't lead to a bunch of shit with Jax getting jealous again. Like, if we have to go through that, I'll be a bit annoyed.
Well, this is the thing. I have no problem with, like, if you've got an ensemble and then you pair some of them off into couples, right? I have no problem with that. It's been done in lots of shows that I like, and it's been done well. And I think the problem is here, though, is that we're so used to Arrow and the way that CW does it. Because even on Flash, and we really like Flash, occasionally there's some of this relationship bullshit. Not as much as Arrow, certainly. But it's kind of this network TV thing where they really shoehorn it in and it feels really forced and really on the nose, and that the way they handled it in this episode was actually fine for me, because it was like they had some chemistry while things were going on. At the end, she just kisses him and that's it, right? Done. You've made your point. We don't have to talk about our feelings for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it cut straight to the next scene and like nothing had happened. It was nice.
Yeah, it was fine. So, okay, they've got a thing going on now. They're touching each other up under the table when they're at meetings. That's fine. We know that now. We don't have to dwell on it too much. So that's okay. As long as they don't, do any stupid force stuff with jealousy or with... I mean, they can have a funny little moment. Like, they can have him walk in and notice it and just act kind of like macho as if he doesn't care. And, like, that'd be funny. Like, something like that would be fine. But...
Yeah. Having no reaction at all would be just as weird, honestly, after they had a whole thing with that in that last episode with it.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to have a whole multiple episodes jealousy thing going
It
on
was
when
weird.
he finds out.
I started talking about this as if I was going to a complaint, but I kind of flipped.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like I was kind of dreading it because they showed it in the previous one, but then it ended up being kind of okay.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Stein being a badass. What the hell?
Fucking loved it.
It was just like, cause see when like the guard cat like sees him and then they go behind the door shuts,
And then he goes all
right?
Hitman.
Right, and I was thinking, all right, now obviously the obvious thing to do here would be that Stein walks out the victor, and it's kind of funny and badass at the same time because he's Stein. But I was thinking, would it be even funnier if it's the guard just carrying him unconscious because he got his ass kicked?
I thought he was just going to hide and wait for the guard to run past and then just come out.
But no, he comes out and cracks a one-liner about not messing with a nuclear physicist. So props.
I just love how he pulls a Hitman and instantly changes into his clothes.
I was pleasantly surprised with how much I liked Captain Cold in this episode, actually.
Me too.
I thought they handled him here very well. Now, obviously, there's a cliffhanger at the end where it appears that he's killing Heatwave. I don't think he is. I think there's going to be a swerve.
Not for 1 second when they show it without a body or even hitting it. Not a damn chance in hell.
Especially since they've shown Cold to becoming more of a... I wouldn't even say hero, just more of a not evil person.
You know? Anti-villain, almost.
Yeah, an anti-villain. There you go. Just kind of like he's become in the comics, because in the comics, if you don't know right now, he's actually the head of security for Lex Corps, and Lex Luthor himself is trying to be more of a hero. So in the comics, they're both together trying to be a little less evil.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's fun times.
Even, it's not necessarily a new addition to have him be a bit more moral.
No, he's always, because the Flash and the Rogues, and Cold in particular, have always had this kind of mutual understanding, which they have set up in the Flash show, where it's like, right, you don't kill anyone, and I'm not really going to get in your way, because I've got bigger things to deal with. Yeah. As long as you have this code of honor and you don't hurt people, you know what, I'm not going to necessarily stop you from robbing a, cash machine. Like,
yeah, it's just not worth the effort.
Yeah. Like, I've got better things to do. I've got multiverses to save and Supergirls to go and see. But no, I thought because he had that little moment with Sarah where he was telling a little bit of the backstory, and I really liked the moment where he's, they do the fake out where he's like, yeah, I'm in. I guess it's time to choose a side, and I've chosen, and he blasts the pirates. It was a good scene, good moment. Even though his guns might be out of charge, as I previously mentioned. But other than that, it was fine.
Yeah.
No, I thought the main space pirate was fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
He's a decent actor. My only real complaint with the plot otherwise is the Time Master who had the other ship that was in the cell with them.
Yeah.
Her changing her mind felt a bit just kind of... Well, I guess that happened.
Yeah. Plot force.
Plot force. Sure.
I was a little bit bummed to find out that all the AIs aren't Gideon. I kind of would have liked if every AI was Gideon.
Nah, it made sense to me.
I know, but it was a little bit disappointing.
Even if there's only two, like Mac and Windows.
That's true. It made me wonder if he's actually related to Barry.
Who?
Rip.
Because they brought up the point that that's not his real name because they have to use fake names so that people can't go back in time and wipe them out.
With their families and like their ancestors. And stuff.
What if he's Bart? What if he's Bart? Nah, that's too soon. Because that's his grandson. Yeah, that's too soon.
Yeah, but just the idea of, because we know Barry created Gideon from first season of Flash. They set that up that Barry creates Gideon at some point.
Yes, vaguely. Yes.
So it'd be cool if that's why he's using Gideon.
Yeah, that would be interesting if he's like, I don't know, what's another Ben Allen from like he's like his descendant from however many hundreds of years we are in the future. I can't remember what the year is that he came from, but
a couple of hundred, I think.
A couple of hundred. But that's a fine theory. And does he know that?
I don't know. Again, another good thing with Rip Hunter, I thought that opening scene where he was just watching the thing on repeat, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, I thought that was alright, yeah. Give it some character. I think what this episode succeeded in doing was giving 2 or 3 of them some solid character sort of growth.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I know a lot more of them a bit better now. Even Sarah had a couple of nice moments where she was talking about dying. I liked Ray getting out into space with his atom suit, even though it's not designed for that, to fix the breach. I thought that was pretty cool. I was about to start screaming at the TV though, because Jerry the mouse not usually covered. It's like the glass only comes down halfway. And he was about to say open the door, and it was still just like that. And I was like, what? No! You can't! No! That won't work! If they do this is bullshit! This is worse than the laser freezing bollocks on a Flash. It's worse than that. If they do this, but then, like, magically, whoo, just this little thing comes up and it like, covers his whole face, and I'm like, right, fine, you got your way out of that. I was getting ready to rage and riot and, like, run down the streets screaming.
I know. I could feel your rage from here.
I was like, Berlanti, you son of a bitch! Oh dear.
I'll tell you what. One more good thing I thought of. So we really liked in the pilot how fluid the fight scenes were, the group scenes, and then we felt like it kind of lost that a little bit in the last couple.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one, the scene where the pirates were coming, they were on the ship. It was like Sarah, Atom, Kendra, and they were all going through that. I thought that was a similar style to those first ones, where it felt a lot more fluid.
Yeah, there was some good. Yeah, that scene was quite good actually, fight wise, because she Sarah was using her stick, Kendra was just doing some hand-to-hand combat. I'm like, break out your wings, girl, come on. Now's the time. Guess the budget was used up for this episode already.
It's just too cramped on those narrow hallways.
Atom pulled off one of his laser blasts, which was nice.
Yeah, it just felt like it was directed better than the last few in that bit. Like, it was more fluid. It was back to how it felt in the pilot.
Yeah, no. I agree. I'd probably go as far to say this is the best one since the first 2.
I agree.
Certainly, in terms of enjoyment. I mean, yeah, we pointed out some flaws, and I think some of them are quite valid, and that some things feel a bit rushed. And
sure, it's essentially just filler in terms of plot.
I guess it is, but at the same time, it feels more worthwhile than the last, like, 4. So,
yeah.
I enjoyed this, and to me, I'm going to go back on that filler comment. I wouldn't call this filler at all, and I'll say why. It's a TV show, and not every episode is going to be part of the main plot. Just like...
No, I agree, but I've already seen a few people complaining online that this is a shorter season, so there shouldn't be filler.
It's 16 episodes. And, and also, if these people went and watched Agent Carter, come on. If they tried watching Agent Carter, Jesus Christ. Season 1 had 8 episodes, and like 6 of them felt like filler. In fact, go watch the last season of X-Files. 6 episodes. 6 episodes, and the middle 4 had nothing to do with the first and last episode.
Yeah, no, that is... 4 out of 6 was filler.
Right. Whereas this...
I guess it's filler in the sense that it didn't really push the main plot forward, really, apart from one little bit at the very end.
You know what? I really don't mind as long as it's fun.
No, I don't care either. I'm just saying in that sense.
I really don't care as long as it's fun. Because this is the kind of show where I expect some episodes where they're just dealing with space pirates, or they're, stuck in a time zone and they have to try and figure their way out, Back to the Future style, or they're whatever, I expect
fun, and that's good enough. You're right.
And besides, one of our main complaints was it feels like they're just going to have to Vandal Savage every episode and just failing by like an inch and then having to regroup. So I'm happy that things are different. This is good. Definitely.
And now, the first, I think it was our first review, and I called this a spaceship, and you corrected me, going, no, we don't know it can go in space. You were like, it's just time.
Oh.
Now we know.
Oh, wait. Did I technically say that it definitely can't go into space?
No, you didn't. But you told me I couldn't call it a spaceship. But now I'm going to call it a damn spaceship.
It's also a time ship, though. There's more to it.
It is. But spaceship is cool.
Dear. Alright, so we've established the ship can go into space. Congratulations. You kind of get a half point for that.
Yes.
Half point.
It's good enough. I'll take it.
With that said, that'll end the review for this episode. We'll be back next week, because luckily this isn't taking any time off, because it started, after Christmas. There's 16 episodes. I think it's just a straight run of all 16. Meanwhile, Flash and Arrow and iZombie, which we also review all them. If you don't watch those reviews, they're all off for like 4 weeks. So
they're back around the 21st, 22nd of March that week.
Yeah, or maybe it was 3 weeks. But either way, we had quite a light week this week. We're recording reviews every night. This week we had a lot on Monday, a couple of days off. Now it's
it's a little bit of a vacation for us, so to speak.
Yeah. Next week I was gonna say it's even more, but we've got a couple of pilots to cover next week, so maybe not. But no, that'll wrap up episode 7, Marooned of Legends of Tomorrow.